Like Burley.
Pete Gouts, how you doing?
Yes, we're here. The home of 52 Swamp Road. What we need to talk about today is what I believe to be a lost art. And I've been to a lot of these tournaments, you know, the MMA, even boxing tournaments, and you know, a lot of the coaches are saying, get off first, you know, go in there punching. So the art of feinting is starting to disappear, and I wanted to bring in an expert on why feints are important. Because if you know anything about 52 blocks, we are heavy feinters. It's like we believe in the art of feint, and we believe in faking and to set up our counter shots. And I wanted to bring in somebody to discuss why, on a way we perceive things, why we cannot ignore or look away from 52 blocks hand feints.
Excellent, excellent, because people don't want to practice the feint, and so they end up fainting. They get hit, you know. So we have to understand two pieces of information here. Number one, what attracts our attention as human beings? There's certain things that happen that make us want to pay attention to them. And number two, we have to understand what happens when we do pay attention to them. Those two things together are what create the science of the feint. Okay, and these things, people have come up with them throughout history. There's classic feints: feint high to open the low, feint low to open the high, feint right to open the left, feint left to open the right. And so this is classic. We know through every martial art in history that these things work. So modern science provides us the answer as far as why are these things actually going to work. First of all, what attracts our attention is anything that is oh, like that. So what did I do? I made some noise and I made a big shape with both my hands. I did almost like frame the picture, but anything that is circular, double circular, sudden, makes a noise. Okay? A lot of movement really quick like that is going to attract your attention over. If I just go like this, you can still pay a lot of attention to me because nothing's really happening. It's not anything that's, okay, that'll get your attention again. And so now we know rapid motion, double motion, and curved motion. These things attract our attention. There's a part of your brain called the superior colliculus. When information comes through your eyes, it goes into your mind. It goes two places: the visual cortex in the back where it's processed, and the superior colliculus in the midbrain, which is looking for danger. So that's what spots these things and makes you pay attention. Now, when your eye jumps, what happens is you're blind for just a millisecond. And the further you can make someone's eye jump, the longer visually you can make them blind. And Dink, if you'd like to bring that camera in here, let's give them an example so they can really see something neat that I bet you've never seen this before in your whole life. But you can get with a friend and try this tonight and you'll know I'm telling the truth. I want you to watch something neat. Look at Mr. Light Burley's eyes. Can you see Light's eyes? There you go. Ladies, you've wanted to see that shot for ages. I know. All right. Now, what he's going to do is he's going to, without moving his head, he's going to look finger to finger at my two fingers. And I want you at home to watch Light's eyes. Nice and slow. Go finger to finger. Smooth and slow all the way across. It's smoothly tracking with just your eyes, not the head. Go from this finger to this finger. Slow. Slow. Slower. Instead of just like scan across from one finger to the other. Nice and smooth. There you go. And you see how his eyes don't make one smooth track. They make a series of little jumps. Every time the eye jumps,
I can feel it.
You can feel it, right? But now normally you don't notice this because we're walking around. But try this with a friend. Hold your hands nice and wide. Don't let them move their head still, and say really slowly, go from finger to finger. And we'll see, let's see, nice, do it this time. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3.
3, I felt 3.
Felt 3, yeah, there we go. Every time the eye jumps over like this, for a millisecond, you're blind. Now, you don't think you are, because your brain is taking the image here, and you're still remembering that image you saw. And so it's just a millisecond, but fights happen in milliseconds. So the further you can make someone's eye jump, the longer you can effectively make them blind. If we're doing something and then that made him, if that made him look down, the stomp of the feet, again, his eye would jump maybe from my eyes down to my feet, 6 feet. In his eyes jumping 6 feet, that takes his brain offline, makes him effectively blind, maybe a quarter of a second, okay? Roughly, we're talking roughly, you know. 1/8 of a second, is that enough time for you to hit somebody though? Absolutely it is, okay? And so that's our goal is to, okay, do something like this, where again, I made a round shape and a noise, and then I caught him with the other hand.
Me into the hook.
When he was looking over here, I caught him with something here, okay? A classic technique of 52, made him look.
Yes.
Okay, and we've seen this other boxers, usually they're using that front hand as their deception, all right? But the same thing, if I can draw his eye away. Canelo did a really lovely one of these where he was coming and he went like that as he came up, because you know Canelo, he loves that lead hand uppercut to the body. And so he dipped in, but this hand rised up first. And because they're going to track on that first motion, you see the chin comes right up and all.
Yes.
It gives you that beautiful shot where you can slip right in.
Yes.
So there we have it. The human organism is biologically wired to be attracted to certain kind of shapes and motions. And we know scientifically how to trigger them. And we know the further your eye jumps, the longer you are effectively blind. Hence 52 being the perfect art to make that all happen for you.
Don't go blind.